If you want to know what's happening with the Durham Region real estate market, then this video is for you. There's a lot of uncertainty regarding the market now that the tariffs have been introduced. People want to know what's going to happen this year, and of course, there's a lot of opinions about this topic. I've got mine as well, and I'm going to talk a bit about that, but I'm also going to give you the actual numbers and tell you exactly what we saw in February, as well as where things are trending. My name is Vilija Truelove. I'm a local Durham Region real estate agent. If you're looking to buy or sell within the Durham region, feel free to reach out. You can schedule a consultation through my calendar link, which is in the description below, or simply send me a text or an email. I'm here to help. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Now, let's dive into the numbers for February. So we had 555 sales in February. This is an increase from the 489 sales in January. But it's always good to compare things to a year ago when trying to make sense of the numbers, because real estate tends to go in cycles. So looking at February 2024, we had 745 sales. So 190 fewer sales compared to this time last year. We had 1,229 new listings come to the market in February, not much higher than the 1,213 we saw in January, and also pretty on par with the 1,217 we saw in February 2024. So seeing this number of new listings makes sense for this time of year. Now, active listings, here's where we start to see some numbers that can suggest a further shift is coming. Active listings at the end of the last day of the month are the number of properties that have not been reported as sold. So basically how many properties we have available for sale at the end of the month. We ended the month with 1,580 listings, which is up from the 1,419 active listings we had at the end of January. But where we really see the difference is when we compare it to February 2024, when we had only 801 active listings. The number of active listings has been on the higher side since last year. So new listings are coming on the market at the normal rate, but we're not seeing as many active buyers and therefore not as many sales. So listings are starting to pile up. Then we can look at months of inventory and sales to new listings ratio to try to determine what kind of market we're in. These numbers are putting us in balanced market or even still seller's market. Months of inventory tells us the number of months it would take to sell all the homes that are currently listed for sale based on the area's current rate of sales activity, if no new homes came on the market. February, it was at 2.8, which is actually down from January's 2.9. Lower is a seller's market, higher is a buyer's market. And technically anything under 3 to 4 months of inventory is considered a seller's market. Sales to new listings ratio, which is the ratio between the number of homes sold and the number of new listings entering the market, went up slightly to 45.2%. Usually between 40 and 60% is considered a balanced market. Now price, the average sale price in Durham for all home types was $897,759. This is a very slight increase from the $896,611 we saw in January. So a change of just $1,148. Looking at specific areas in Durham region, again, for all home types, we saw some price drops and some increases. Pickering saw a decrease of $7,512. Ajax saw an increase of $61,251. Whitby saw the biggest decrease of $38,129. Oshawa decreased $9,930, and Clarington increased $47,080. So prices are continuing to hold pretty steady. Now, again, comparing this to a year ago, in February 2024, we saw an average price of $919,017. So we are down $21,258 from the average we had last year. We also saw a 101% sale to list price ratio after sitting at 100% for several months. So more homes were selling in multiple offers and over the asking price in February. Homes sold in 22 days on average, which is down quite a bit from the 30 days that we had in January. And listing days on market, which takes into account if a home has been listed multiple times, went down to 34 from the 45 we saw in January. So what does this all mean for you as a buyer, a seller, or a homeowner? These numbers and changes we saw from January to February overall aren't super alarming. Prices held steady and homes were actually selling faster. However, inventory is continuing to go up, which does suggest that prices should eventually start to come down if the buyers don't come back out and new homes continue to be put on the market at the same rate. We had pretty high levels of inventory throughout 2024, with prices ending up basically where they started after a year. But we were seeing more sales. And if we start seeing more sellers that have to sell, and so they need to entice buyers with a lower price, this could be what ends up pushing prices down. For right now, though, prices are continuing to hold pretty steady. And of course, the big question on everyone's minds, are these tariffs going to crash the market? And the reality is, we don't know what the full impact is going to be. Will they mean a slowdown? I would think so, at least temporarily. The market was already slower to begin with, so this could be just one more thing to add to the issues. There's a lot of different concerns when it comes to the tariffs specific to real estate. Construction costs would go up, cost of living will go up, so people may begin to hold back on extra spending and not be comfortable with purchasing a home. Certain sectors would be looking at potential job losses. If job losses increase due to weaker exports, we could then start seeing homeowners that are forced to sell. This adds even more homes to a market that already has a high number of active listings. If this happens, we would see a decrease in home prices, especially in areas where job markets are hit the hardest. Speaking specifically of Oshawa, the mayor of Oshawa, Dan Carter, said this past week, thousands of jobs in our community are linked to the export and import of goods produced by American manufacturers. These jobs span various sectors, such as advanced manufacturing, transportation, logistics, and retail, which highlight the critical role that international trade plays in sustaining our local community. The movement of goods across borders not only supports employment, but also fosters economic growth and development within our community. So lots of local jobs depend on trade with the US. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce also released statistics on February 11th that showed tariffs by the United States on Canada would have a huge impact on Canadian cities. Greater Oshawa, which includes Clarington, Whitby, and Oshawa, is suggested to be the 14th most impacted of 41 Canadian municipalities across Canada, according to those figures. Of course, other factors to consider will be what our government does, not only to respond to these tariffs, but also to try to help these affected businesses, as well as what they do to continue to help affordability for the average household. Many are predicting that the Bank of Canada will continue to drop interest rates. Lower interest rates are, of course, favorable for housing markets. But if we see a rise in unemployment and a drop in spending, that will mitigate the effect of the lower interest rates. People do buy homes every day in every market. That's the reality of it. If you're considering a purchase right now and are in a strong financial position with solid employment, then you're going to have a lot more homes to choose from. We are actually still seeing multiple offers, but also many options for homes that are taking offers anytime. Especially if you're one of the many people that are paying crazy amounts for rent and you're solid financially, buying in a down market could turn out to be a great opportunity. Markets go down and markets go up. And the Toronto and the Durham Region markets specifically have proven themselves time and time again to be resilient. So buying low likely means a lot more equity in 5 years. If you need to sell, your house will need to stand out both in how it shows as well as by pricing well for your neighborhood. Pricing will be the most important factor. Again, homes are still selling at all different price points, but expect it to look a little bit different than it did last year in most cases. If you're looking to move to a home that better fits your family, so if you need to buy and sell, I would suggest selling first in the majority of cases so that you know exactly what you're getting for your house. And remember that though you might be likely to get less for your home, you also are going to be paying less for the home that you purchase. So that's your February 2025 market update. If you'd like to chat about your own real estate needs or you just want some guidance, feel free to book a consultation with me through the link below. We'll go over your specific situation and talk about the best strategies moving forward in this crazy market. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates in the future. I'll see you in the next video.